Congresswoman Yasmin Ansari was in Florence today. She got a tour of the Florence Detention Center where Haitian migrant Emmanuel Damas was being held until he passed away in early March following a long-term tooth infection that became sepsis.
The issue really is, how does a toothache lead to somebody's death within a matter of weeks, and how did it get to that point? I tried to ask a number of questions.
Joining us now, KTAR News reporter Bowen Overstolz. Bowen, what questions did Congresswoman Ansari want answers to?
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. Yeah, there's a few things here. She's long been concerned about medical responses within ICE detention, and really that's what she was trying to drill down and figure out today. So she says she was trying to learn more about policies within the Florence ICE Detention Center and how site contractors, CoreCivic, they are contracted by ICE to actually staff and run the facility. She wants to learn more about how, when somebody says, hey, I'm having a medical issue, how is ICE directing these companies to respond? Are they responding in timely manners? And she said today she didn't get a lot of clarity. In fact, she says when she went into that facility, she was met by CoreCivics, that site, the company contracted to run the site there. She was met by a lawyer from CoreCivic who was guiding people on how to respond to questions. So she felt as if, again, she wasn't able to get a lot of clarity into what may have happened with this Damas situation. And this is against the backdrop where she's concerned about, again, these medical shortcomings very broadly happening nationwide within ICE detention and custody.
Yeah, I talked to Damas's brother last week. Val and I have been all over these immigration stories, and he said that they were talking to him and they were concerned. You know, his health sounded like it started to decline. His voice was getting weaker. He was getting more and more tired. That's, you know, not common for a toothache. Valen, do we know, do they have dental care at these ICE detention facilities?
We did learn they have some sort of facilities there, but again, I'm not clarity on exactly what they offer there. We did learn that he was treated and at that facility for some amount of time before it was determined that it's an emergency. He was experiencing a medical emergency and then transferred to hospitals within the valley where he later passed away. And this all happened from, mid-February to the very beginning of March. So a pretty short time frame all in all. So
Congresswoman Ansari brought up negligence, like you mentioned, Bowen.
Yeah.
So are we talking about by ICE, by DHS? Could there potentially be lawsuits here? Could Damas's family be looking at a payout for all of this that the taxpayers end up being on the hook for?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, these are probably the questions that ICE is wondering right now, too, right? They're wondering what is the response to this going to be as we're learning a little bit more and more about this. So it is an ICE facility operated by CoreCivic. In this case, Ansari did today, she believes that there was negligence, which we don't know for sure. I mean, we don't know exactly what happened. But if there is proven negligence in this case, ICE and CoreCivic, and ICE being an extension of DHS, would need to be held responsible. That is her view. And we know who is investigating this currently. It is ICE. So they may have a very different view on what negligence looks like in this case. But so, we're kind of just guessing on what these legal arguments could be and what could be found. But according to Ansari, yes, she believes that both could be held responsible for this. And on terms of possible litigation, Ansari did hear today from CoreCivic's legal counsel that they are expecting possible litigation. But obviously that would be up to maybe lawmakers or Damas's family to actually move forward with that, which we haven't seen at this point.
KTAR News reporter Bowen Overstolz.